Hey guys, back in the shop again today. My name's Luther from Luther's Woodworking. Today we're going to be working on another Steve Good project. This is going to be a turkey. Thanksgiving's just around the corner, so I thought we'd just do one of these turkey patterns that he has on his website, and make sure you visit his website. He's got a lot of patterns there and a lot of information on it. Let me just show you here what we got. I'll move the camera quick here. What we got is this turkey pattern right here. Now when you go to his website and print out this pattern, you need to print out these 3 pages with the pattern on it. It's a very easy project. If you're just getting into scroll sawing, or if you just bought a scroll saw and you want to make something, this is a really easy project. Not very many parts, very few inside cuts that you have to do. Very easy painting it or staining it. So it's a real easy project for somebody that's just getting into scroll sawing. So what I got here is all the parts. I got my board. This is a 1/4 inch material. This whole project's 1/4 inch material, so that makes it easy too. Got my board taped, pattern on it. I don't have the clear packaging tape on the top of this. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. Just depends on the project. But I have more parts here than what I really need attached to here, because I'm actually going to be making 3 of these turkeys. I'm going to be giving 2 of them away. So there's more parts here that we need, but I'll just cut out the parts that we need. So we're going to head on over to the scroll saw. Actually, before that, we are going to cut some inside holes that we need on these patterns. Let me grab my drill. Some of these parts need some inside cut, so we're going to do a few of them, like on the feet. And I'm just using a Dremel with a plunger attachment on it. I'll put a link below if you want to buy one of them. It's nothing fancy, but it does work. That, and then we need, here's the face. We got a couple eyes and the hat. Okay, and then we have, I think that's it as far as the inside holes. Let me do one more foot. I just want to make sure I got all the holes drilled I needed. 2 feet, the head, the hat. Should be good to go. So we're going to head over to the scroll saw, start cutting out these parts, and then we'll go from there. Alright, at the scroll saw here, we're just going to start cutting out some of these parts. This is the body right here. Now you'll notice on this pattern, it gets connected with the legs and stuff with these notches in here. I'll show you how to get them to fit really nice once we get going. now on here, you can see I went around. I didn't cut the notches out as I was going. I like to do that after I go around it, because I can just come in and just cut nice in. So I'll show you. What I do is just come in on one side, then I go to the other side and make my 90-degree turn and just pop that out of there. This is set up for 1/4-inch lumber, so the next piece that slips into here will be your 1/4-inch piece. I believe it's the leg will slip in here, so you don't want to cut these notches out too big. Too small is okay, because we can fix that, but when you cut them out too big, it's hard to fix that. I like to stay on the inside of the line just so I can, so it's cut a little smaller than what you need. We can always adjust the size. So we'll just set this aside for now. We're going to come back and make sure them legs fit in there as we get cutting here. I'm just cutting that piece down smaller so I get a little bit of a smaller piece to work with. And I'm just going to be cutting out the parts that we need for this turkey. I'm going to lay them behind me. I got the papers laid out where I can lay the parts right on the paper so I know that I got all the pieces. Okay, I started cutting this foot out, but I noticed I want to, in this other piece here, I already have the hole drilled for the inside cut for the foot. So we're going to do that. So like I said, you want to stay on the inside of your line because you can always make it bigger. And I think I have another foot here that we can cut out. Alright, I got one more foot right here we can cut the inside out. So I'm going to cut the big fan piece here for his back here first. Now you're going to see me when I cut this. I'm just going to go around here. I'm not going to cut down first. I'm just going to go around it first, and then I'll come back and cut them straight down. it's easier to go around this and just keep on going around these humps, and instead of trying to cut that line down and then backing out and then trying to go back up around the other one and cutting down. It's easier just to cut around it first and then come back and just cut your lines down. All right, see how I got that all cut out? Now I'm going to go down, and all I got to do is just cut my line straight down. Okay, got all my decorative lines cut. We can set that over on our paper. Now we need to cut out some feet. So we'll cut out these feet right here. Okay, that's one foot. We're going to set that aside because that's got the hole in there for the leg to fit in. Alright, here's the leg, and like I did before, I cut right around that notch. Now I can go in there and cut that notch out. we'll do some adjusting later to get everything to fit. So we got that. So now we need to we'll cut the face out right here. The face has also got some inside cuts that you gotta cut out for the eyes and the hat. Okay. Now, always cut your decorative lines last. That way you can just go in there and make the cut. Alright, we'll set him on the side with the pattern. And here's the little part for the beard. We'll cut that out. There. Set that aside. And we need one more leg. Here's a leg. one more foot. There's the foot. I think we're getting close of everything. We put the body. We need one more of these pieces here. Alright, so I think we got all the parts that we need. 2 legs. Alright, and the body. Okay, so now, while we're still at the saw here, I want to explain a little bit. You got the feet and the legs, and then the body. That's where all the pieces get hooked together. Before you try to hook them together, what you want to do is take this tape off, because that's going to affect your thickness of your wood. And we'll see how close we got for cutting it out. We'll take this apart. Okay, there's the body, and then we got the 2 feet. All right, I think we got everything. I want to make sure you get all the tape off. Okay, so we know that these 2 pieces of the feet need to fit up in here. And you can see this actually fits. You can see this actually goes in there pretty nice. I got it to fit really nice. So that 1 foot goes there. Let's see how lucky I got on the other one. Now the other one is a little tight. So what you can do, we know that one fits. What you can do on this one is just take your scroll saw. Try to take a little off of that. See, just so you can fit that thickness of a 1/4 inch on there. And now you might have to take a little off of this leg part, this notch, to get that to fit in there. So you just go on the scroll saw and just stretch that out a little bit. There. See how that fits on there? Fits in there. So now when you put it in here, it'll fit right up in there. So now the two legs for this turkey are going to fit right under like that there. Now, these legs need to fit in these square holes. So what you need to do is see if you can't get them to fit in the square holes. This one's a little big, so we're just going to take a little off of here. Just going to take a little off. Let me see what's here. Take a little more off. Sometimes if you take your blade and scratch it sideways on the edge, that'll take just enough off to get that to fit in there. Maybe a little more yet. Okay, I think we have that one to fit, because you want nice tight fit. Okay, there's one, and we'll try the other one. That one fit in there. So now we put this together like this. Once that's glued, that'll work pretty nice. But you want to make sure them fit in these areas snug and tight so you don't have a lot of big gaps and stuff. So make sure, cut your notches smaller maybe to begin with, and you can always make them bigger. But once you make them too big, then it's going to be hard to make it look nice. So we got that done. We're going to head back over to the bench. Alright guys, back at the bench here. He's actually starting to look like a bird. I took all the tape off, all the parts. The next thing is going to be sanding. And this is where, I think in a couple videos I have mentioned, the last video I did, I mentioned these small parts like this here can be sanded really easy on this board like this without having to actually go on a big belt sander or use a big sander. You can actually sand a part like that there, the front and back, and you can actually just go and sand the edges and get it all softened up on the edges, because that's how we usually do it, just soften up all the edges. And you can do that to all the parts. It's really easy. Even little small little parts like this here, right on this board, just go around a couple times, flip it, go around a couple times. This is 220 sandpaper. Works pretty nice for that. And all you gotta do is just go around and soften it up a little bit. Take out any bumps from when you started your blade in the scroll saw. Just clean up the edges a little bit. Get all the fuzzies off of it from the blade. And then it should look really nice. So what we're going to do is actually go through and sand all these parts. This bird already all sanded, all ready to paint. Actually, what we're going to do is actually stain this, I think. So we'll be back in a little bit once we get this all sanded. Alright guys, we are back at the bench. I got everything all sanded smooth. Of course, my wife did all the sanding. Everything fits nice. I just want to say, make sure when you do your notches right here for the feet to fit in, stay on the inside of the line. And if you cut it a little small, you can always make it bigger. Let me just show you. When I was on the saw, I showed you that you could just take the saw and just trim a little off. But if you just have a little bit that you need to trim to get it to fit in there, a trick I use is I take a regular paint stick and I took a piece of 120 sandpaper and I glued it to the stick. And this stick is like an 1/8 inch thick paint stick. And I just glued some sandpaper to it. And what's nice, because I do a lot of projects that require them to go together like this. You can just go in there and this paint stick fits in there nice, and you can just sand these edges just enough to get that to fit in there. You can go top and bottom to sand these edges, and this paint stick works really nice for that purpose. I think I have a video out there that explains that. But just like the feet here, here's the legs that fit inside this little hole right here. You can do the same thing on these legs. If for some reason it needs to be just adjusted just a little bit, you could always take your sandpaper and just go a little bit on that tab to get that to fit in on that leg. This one actually fits in really nice. Once it's glued, it'll be really nice. You can do the same thing on these, on the end right here. If that needs to be adjusted a little bit, you can actually go in there and just trim that up a little bit. So everything fits good. We're going to paint. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a barn red stain, and for everything that needs to be red, we'll use a barn red, and then we're going to paint the hat black. So it's going to look just like the picture basically, and then the rest of it's going to be natural color. But we're going to get this all stained up, and then we'll come back and we'll stain it up. We'll let it dry. We're going to glue it together, because gluing it together is basically putting it on here like this here. Now Steve Good's got the picture there. You can always look to see how it needs to go if you need to. But it's something like this. And then obviously the legs go in there like this here. They'll fit in there. Like that. So you can look at Steve Good's website how it all gets put together, but we're going to get this all glued together, stained and glued together, and we'll be back. Hey guys, back here at the bench. We are all done with the turkey. Got her all stained up, glued together. Looks pretty nice. Stands up. Another good Steve Good project. Very easy to make if you're just starting out on the scroll saw and wanting to make something real quick. It's only got 10 parts to it. Very few inside cuts. Just remember when you're cutting your tabs and your holes for putting this together, that you make sure you, like on these holes, make sure you cut them small enough so you can always make them bigger, and on these tabs make sure you cut them because you can always make them smaller. That would be one thing I would suggest. Other than that, it's a very easy project and it is complete. Make sure you give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. I do got more videos coming out. I've been trying to get more videos out every week. So we'll see you on the next video.